Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the channel, welcome back to the Great Gibraltar Draft. And today with Hound Dogs we're taking on Lincoln Red Imps. They're third in the table, we're first. We've been smashing things so far, it's been going very well, and hopefully that will continue. With that said, we have got a couple of transfers to update you on. You can see here that Terence Douglas will be joining Dordrecht in January, so in a month's time. Hamza will also be leaving to join Slaven Belupo, and we've obviously got Brian Rees coming in from AGF, a youngster there. Other than that, though, we have got some confirmed stuff. So the first ones we will talk about are the outgoings. I think these are the ones that you may not have seen. I think you've seen Cameron Thomas, but Mathis Severdin, he has left us. He's got joined College 75. We got a bit of money for him. He wasn't going to play because we've got plenty of players who can fill in that role. But yep, there you go. Mikael Johnson as well. He's gone on loan to Europa FC. Again, it might be a case that we'll have to move him on in the end. But it's worth getting a bit of cash for him now anyway. But with that said, we've also got some ins. So first one is Marlos. He's come in. He's our head of youth development as well as a player for us. And he's done pretty well since joining. Only played a few games for us so far, 35 years old. So obviously won't be playing long term. But on the ball, decent. Can also cover in centre midfield, which is exactly what we needed as well. So I thought that was a good signing to have. Leon Pambu, he's come in from Europa Point. He's come in on a free. He scored against us in one of the games, which we'll see in a minute. And I realised that he was playing for them. And I was like, I like Leon Pambu from Saint Saves and all that stuff. So why not bring him in? So we did. He's now one of our backup centre-halves, so that's good. And the other player that we've brought in is Gustav Grubb, who's just come in from RB Leipzig for 100k. I think he could develop into a decent right back. 20 years old, so plenty of time to improve. And we are needing some kind of cover at right back anyway. But with that said, let's jump into the games we've played and how we've got on up to this point. Following our win in the first game of the season, we did take on Europa. Unfortunately, we did go down from a header from a corner early on to hit the crossbar and bounce in. They then took the lead, furthered their lead, I should say, with a second goal, Sorrow from the near post, slotting it past the keeper. We did react, though, in the second half. A few changes were made, and that definitely triggered something. As Ramirez slotted away a penalty we won later on in the second half to make it 2-1. Then John-Christoph Baerback's run across the pitch found Salah, and he was able to dink that in for Graziano Pella, who came on the pitch to head past the keeper for number 2 to level things up. And it wasn't too long after where we actually managed to take that lead. Graziano Pella being involved again, looking out wide to Maximiliano Romero, who's drilled across a box cross pass, found Baerback at the back post. Next up, we took on Lynx, and it wasn't until late on in the first half where there was a goal of the 6-goal thriller. Initially being played through, Pella wasn't able to reach it, but Pereira de Sá was able to latch on to the defensive block the keeper made. We did get a second goal to take further our lead. Hamza receiving the ball, playing it to Koch, looking for Salah, who whipped ball in, found Baerback, a lovely delivery and a lovely finish there. They did get one back. Caused us a little bit of concern with Pandev slotting away from the penalty spot. But I thought, absolutely no problems. We got our 2-goal lead back with Ramirez scoring from the spot, making it 3-1. Nothing to worry about. That wasn't the case, though, as Lynx came forward once again. Pandev involved with Asamoah, whose ball in found the head of Frischbeiner, and that was that for that goal. And then a third levelling goal in the 94th minute, super late on in the day, as Bowie drove forward through the centre of our defence, and he just slotted it past the keeper for 3-0. So it was 3-2 in the next one against Europa Point in the league. We took an early lead again 12 minutes in. John-Christoph Baerback's cross found Romero at the back post, who's playing on the left-hand side today, and did very well at finishing that. They got a penalty to level things, though. Nunez slotting past the keeper to the right-hand side. We then took the lead back with Hamza on the half-an-hour mark. Baerback winning the header from Hamza's cross across the corner, and it was a great goal there. Then, again, we got a 2-goal lead with Salah playing in Salafu, who laid it back to Pereira de Sá, whose long-range drilled effort fired past the keeper just before half-time, going in very comfortably. They did get one back, but it wasn't enough to really cause us issues. It was Pambu, our new signing, and Ramirez missed a penalty late on. A slightly less exciting game was next against St Joseph with a 1-0 win from Ramirez's penalty. Our unbeaten run continued though in the league against Magpies with a 1-1 draw. We took the lead on the 25th minute with the ball being played across the box back to Bareback, who played it in to Pella, who nodded past the keeper. But they were able to get one late on in the 89th minute just to level things up. We thought we dealt with the ball in initially, but Salazar's shot was too much for the keeper. The boys must have thought the draw was undeserved as they absolutely went crazy against College 75, winning 5-1 in the game. Initially, it was Graziano Pella scoring from the edge of the box in the first 7 minutes to give us the lead, and that continued with Ramirez's penalty later on in the game. And then just moments later, it was a third for us, Brian Oviedo with a lovely free kick going into half-time. Our fourth did then come. It was Johnson involved in this time, into Romero, who was able to then look for the pass out wide for Ramirez, playing at right back, whose ball in found Pella with the goal. They did get one back at this point, not long after as well. So around the 60-minute mark, we weren't able to clear our lines as Miguel's played Edwards through on goal, and he was able to deftly chip the keeper for that one. But we made sure of things one more time to make it 5-1 with Sergio Silva's ball over the top, finding John Christoph Bareback on the right-hand side. He was taking on his man, got to the byline, lifted the ball to the back post for the likes of Romero to head past the keeper. Mons Kalp were next, and we continued good form. This time, again, early on in the game, Romero got through on goal, who fired it past the keeper with a lovely strike. They got one back though just before half time from the corner. Iowa with the header at the near post going past Gustav, but we were able to get the lead back for us with Bareback's own header going past the keeper. We did end up losing our first game of the season in the cup, the intermediate cup that is, against Man 62. We played a rotated side. Marlos got his first goal for us from the penalty spot, but Man 62 were just too much for us and won the game with a penalty. We followed up the loss in the cup with a win in the league against the same team, Man 62. 2-0 this time. Ramirez involved in both goals, scoring from the penalty spot for the first one, then providing the ball for Badgie to lift it at the back post for Romero's header for 2-0. We then had some action in the Pepe Reyes Cup against College 75. Another 3-1 win here. We went 1-0 down to start with Robson Kanu finding Dean in the centre of the box, tapping it past the keeper. But we did react well, especially in the first half, getting a leveller before half-time. Pereira de Sá working really well on that left-hand side. He found a ball in for Graziano Pella to win, and he headed it past and in goal. And then we made sure of things, getting 2 more goals in the second half. Marlos with a lovely curled free kick on his left foot. And then a third as well. Similar, but this time became delivery for Marlos to Sergio Silva for 3-1. Back in league action now with Glasses United. It was 2-2 in the end in this game. A back and forth game really, other than the fact we went 2-0 up, which was a shame for us to end up drawing the game. Romero with a header to start things off, and we were able to get a second in the second half. Badgie playing Marlos, then finding Hamza, who found Salifu, who's turned on the spot, found Marlos again, who's been influential, slotting it past the keeper. But as I mentioned, they did fight back and they did get a point from the game, us losing those 2 points that could be crucial in the long run. Ball over the top, finding Dolcek, who slotted past the keeper at the near post, and then a second later on in the game. This time it was from a corner. Larston, the fantastic ball player he was, found Craig, and it was 2-2. And after that 2-2 draw, we had another one, this time in the Pepe Reyes Cup against College 75. It did get us through, but it wasn't the most convincing, having gone 1-0 down in the early stages of the game. Helm doing brilliantly well to get past the defence with a driving run. But we did react quite well. A ball through from Marlos to Picard, found Kingsley for his first goal of the season for us. So good to see him getting in the score sheet. We did get a second on the half an hour mark. Oviedo's ball in was cleared initially. Dede was able to look back and get to that, finding Oviedo again, who this time made no mistakes, smashing it in past the keeper. But as mentioned, it was 2-2 in the end, with College 75 getting the last one of the 4. Uzueta playing it through to Dean, who played it through goal, but we made it through to the semi-finals. So that's how it happened. That is where we're at. So far in the league, we're undefeated. We've only lost one game all season so far, and that was against Man 62. We've got them again in the Intermediate Cup, so we're going to look to try and get a win there, because you never know, we could end up winning three trophies this season if we do really well. But it is Lincoln today in the league. A loss here could be... It's not the end of the world, as we are 4 points ahead of them, but it will reel them in to us. If we get a win, however, that could be massive. We could be a whopping 6 points ahead of Mons Calp, and that can give us a massive buffer going into the later games. But let's take a look at the team we're going to play today, and how we're going to look to set up with this one. So we have had a few players out looking tired, looking a bit jaded. So we've had to kind of mix things up, move things around a little bit. But I'm pretty happy with the team itself. We're going to take Hankins out for Halderson, I think. Oh, no, we don't want Pella to go in goal. Let's make that change better. There you go. Halderson will be in goal because unfortunately Gustov is injured at the moment. We've got Wisdom at right back, Dede and Pambu at the centre half, and Brian Oviedo at left back. Badgie will be playing that ball winning role with Michael and Katie in front of him. And then Bareback, Romero and Pella, the front three of... devastation, we could say, up top there. But yeah, so that's I think that's what we'll stick with at the moment. Maybe we could we'll bring Pereira de Sá on in there for Keita. Pereira's been very, very good this season, so we want to make sure he continues that form. But let's jump into the game. Obviously, like I say, we've had to rotate a little bit with centre halves, that sort of thing. But I'm pretty confident still that we should be able to do all right. Hopefully this isn't the first game of the season that we lose. That would be frustrating. Or first game of the league season, that is, that we lose. But again, a draw isn't actually too bad. I'd be fine with a draw. A win would be great because we'd have that buffer, but a draw is not anything to kind of scoff at this stage. But Pereira de Sá does well there to win that ball. Romero receives it out wide. He's looking to take on his man down this left-hand side, uses his right foot to play the ball in, comes all the way through, and John Christoph Bareback's there just to tap it in. 3 minutes in, we know we're able to score early in games. We do that a lot. A misjudgment of the flight of the ball by Fernandez did lead to Bareback being able to get that in, but it all came from Pereira de Sá working hard to get the ball from the initial goal kick. He also was in the box there, which is great to see. He's all in and around it, so he's very influential in this team, and he's been very good this season. So it's good to have him in the side. But with that, 10 minutes in, looking very solid, 1-0 up. Can't really complain at anything so far as Lincoln looks to drive that ball forward. As I say that, it's a ball all the way through over the top of the defence. Dede and Pambu are nowhere to be seen with that one. That is one thing maybe we do need to look at, is a bit of pace at the back, because that seems to be a bit of an issue for us. Will it be an issue here as well? No, Dede does well to win that one. And it's Graziano Pella out to John Christoph Bareback. Looks back to Andre Wisdom. Now he's going to drive wide, but looks inside to Bareback, who maybe looks to cut it back, but Akane wins that well. And Mancha out to Holland, then Akane again, and then Holland one more time, looks inside to the striker, Elkerson. They're working the ball well. Once they've got it, they don't want to let it go. But our boys are sitting in quite nicely, waiting for the moment to kind of force the press, force the work by Lincoln. But they've done brilliantly well to move this around and get further and further up the pitch. A lovely switch across. Elkerson still working hard, finding Alderson, who's been put through in goal. And that's a great goal. I can't really argue with that. That is an absolutely fantastic goal. I'd love to know how many passes that was, because they kept that for days. That was quite the move. A lovely bit of play. Pedro Martin switch over to Alderson, who played a 1-2 with Elkerson to get that goal. Oviedo maybe should have done a little better there, tracking his man, being a bit tighter to him. But yeah, bit of a shame, but he could make up for it here with a free kick. Brian Oviedo with a strike. It's off the bar or saved. I'm not really sure there, but Leon Pambu's not able to get to and react to that initial save as he's rushing in, and then Badgie does well to stop any sort of counter-attack going ahead with a bit of a foul there and a yellow card. But half an hour in, I'm pretty happy with things. They are looking slightly better than us at the moment. and at this stage. But I think we've got plenty of time to kind of keep the game going. Our midfield trio aren't doing great. I don't really want to take Pereira off. We might look to take Michael off because he's a little bit jaded, and then we'll also pop Cater on, I think, for Badgie, just to freshen things up in the middle there. A bit more legs. Salafu's a bit more artistic, we could say, with his style of play. So we've got that in there as well, hitting the hour mark. Again, a 1-1 draw, absolutely fine with that. We'd be 4 points clear from second place, so we've got that buffer still. Just would be nice to be 6 rather than 4. But Dede into Wisdom, who looks inside to Cater, into Bareback. Finding Salafu, the substitute who's already been booked. Pereira Desar now receiving it. Salafu into Pella, who's holding it up well. Pereira Desar looks through to John Christoph Bareback, who looks like he probably is onside as it's saved and put out for a corner. It looked like maybe the fullback for them was keeping him on there. But Oviedo, again, looking for a cross into the box. It's easily cleared. It's not exactly danger for anyone. Cater looks out wide again, though, to Brian Oviedo. I thought he might be offside there, but he's obviously come back to stay onside. Salafu into Dede, who's on the ball, and he is Brazilian. So you never know. He could be we might as well put him out wide because he must be some sort of skilled with him. Brian Oviedo's ball in, though, does find Dede, and I have no idea how Graziano Pella has missed that at the back post. Dede's header down. It found Pella at the back, and he somehow hit the post and hit it wide. He was almost on the line there to put that away, but hey, sometimes it doesn't happen for you. As Addison looks to take a free kick here in the last 10 minutes. Can he get a goal? Howderson matches it with a fantastic save there. He had to get across and does so well. I think what we could do is, in fact, take Bareback, put him up top, Pele can come off, and TJ DeBar will come on that right-hand side with a little bit of pace going forward now, rather than the target role. But Bareback will still be dropping in to receive the ball and looking for the passes through. But 5 minutes to go. We've looked very good. We've grown into the game, certainly. We've caused more and more issues as the game's gone on for Lincoln. But sitting at the top of the table with a 1-1 draw against Lincoln, very, very happy with that. Hopefully, we can continue this form. We continue it in the Cup as well that we've got up against Manchester 62 in the Intermediate League Cup coming up. That would be great as well. So we'll have to see how it goes. I think we can get to at least one final. One of these Cups, we've got to be getting to a final. 12 unbeaten, though, in the league, which is great. We've done brilliantly well to do so. We've smashed it so far this season, and long may it continue. With around half the games to go still, it's going to be good. But with that said, I will leave it there. Make sure you leave a like, subscribe to the channel for more content like this, and of course, I will catch you in the next one.